So what's up, guys? One of the questions I've been asked since the release of the 2020 Pro XP is it worth it? The base model Pro XP, or as Polaris is calling the standard, retails for $22,999, where the base model 2020 RZR XP Turbo retails for $20,999, which is a $2,000 difference. So the question is it worth it for you to spend the extra $2,000 on the Pro XP? So my answer is yes, and I'm going to explain to you why right now. All right, so let's give it a little quick rundown of the differences between the standard RZR Turbo base model versus the standard Pro XP. First off is the wheelbase, 96 inches on the Pro XP versus 90 inches on the RZR Turbo. You know, that's give or take on, is it worth anything to you to have the additional 6-inch wheelbase? If you're a hill climber, definitely yes. I know I got to spend some time in this machine in Nevada, and I couldn't tell the difference at high speed, the difference in the wheelbase. I really thought it'd be tippy, but did not notice it. One of the reasons I feel like I did not notice that was that the Pro XP comes with a one-piece, completely welded, no bolts frame, where the RZR Turbo has a two-piece frame and has since the introduction of the XP1000 in 2014. And I do like the rigidity of that one-piece frame. So that's a bonus. Can't really put a dollar value to that, but it is a bonus. Now, wheel travel is very similar. Polaris is saying 20 inches front, 20 inches rear in the XP Turbo, 20 inches front, 22 inches rear in the Pro XP. 2 inches more in the rear. Really didn't notice a huge difference in the wheel travel as far as performance of driving. I personally did not notice the difference, but I did notice that it did handle a little better in the back end from kicking, but I think that may have had a little bit more to do with the wheelbase than it did the wheel travel. Also, the Pro XP has upgraded seats in it. They're the one-piece, I guess they'll say plastic polymer, whatever they want to call it, a one-piece seat that's leaps and bounds compared to what we've been used to in the OEM seats since 2014 that have always just been pathetic. Now, guys, it's hard to say, put a dollar value on the upgraded seats, but I did anyway. Let's see, the upgraded seats, I put a $500 value. Now, we'll get to this. I'm going to have some deductions, so this all washes out in the end, and we can get a total value of the upgrades. So the seats were nice. They were an upgrade. I'm a fan of suspension seats, so I'll still be changing mine out. But for you guys that stick with the OEM, these seats are leaps and bounds above the seats that come in the RZR Turbo. Also, the Pro XP comes with 30-inch carnivores versus the 29-inch bighorns. And I know one of the biggest things I see on RZR Life is people looking for new tires. Carnivores seem to be a very popular item. So they're, again, about $700 for 4 carnivores for your RZR. So there's another $700 ad. Again, guys, I realize you got to do a deduct for like selling your bighorns, and I will get to that in the end. So there's another $700 right there. Also, the Pro XP seats are lowered 2.5 inches and also have some recline adjustability. So I want to throw that in there for you guys that like to buy lowering seat bases. That's an extra $100 that you're going to spend right there. Also, the standard turbo, 168 horsepower versus the 181 horsepower Pro XP. Not a huge jump in horsepower, but again, the cheapest tune I've been able to find if you want to get your 168 horsepower and bump it up is a $500 tune. There's another, all this stuff adds up. Every bit of it adds up. The biggest thing that I see really in a benefit of the Pro XP versus the RZR Turbo is that it does come with the RS1/Turbo S front diff, which is a huge bonus, especially for somebody like me, likes to rock crawl, maybe do some hill climbing. I see a lot of folks going to the RS1 and upgrading the diff in their RZR Turbo, which is $1,600 for a new diff and the conversion kit to swap it over. So, you know, radding it up pretty quick. All right, next thing on the list is the clutching. The clutching on the Pro XP, it's also on the Turbo S too, but the clutching box is completely different on the Pro XP. But the difference in those is the clutching on the RZR Turbo is 250 CFM versus the Pro XP, which is 500 CFM. So in order to increase the airflow on a RZR Turbo, you're gonna have to put a blower in on your RZR Turbo. So I looked that up, and a blower for your clutching is an additional $250. Keeps adding up, doesn't it, guys? All right, one of the things that Polaris has done has added arched A-arms that they're saying are the strongest arms they've ever built. And I will say, without knowing the thickness of the arms, they did look pretty daggum beefy. So on the low end, I checked out what's it gonna cost for a beefier set of arched A-arms to put on the RZR Turbo. The standard RZR Turbo came up with about $400. Not the top of the line, but you know, on the aftermarket side, to get a little bit beefier, gonna add $400. Now the radius rods have been upgraded as well, and they are arched. However, they are steel. So I'm putting zero value on that, because regardless of which machine that I'm driving, those radius rods are coming off, and I'm going with some type of billet radius rod. So I put no value in that. I'm gonna call those steel arched radius rods pre-bent. That's what I'm gonna call them, pre-bent radius rods. Also, the Pro XP, can't figure out how to put a value on this, has a 12-gallon fuel tank versus the 9.5-gallon fuel tank on the standard RZR Turbo, which is a 2.5-gallon jump, which is huge. I know you guys that take long trips. I know I was just in West Virginia the other day taking a long ride, started sweating bullets. Running 70, 80 miles on a tank of fuel starts making me wish that I had a little bit of extra. So no, I put no value on that, no dollar value, but it's a great thing. The other thing is the roll cage, the stronger roll cage on the Pro XP. Now guys, this is my opinion and only my opinion, but that new roll cage is, it's one piece welded from A to C pillar, and it is bolted across, but it is the strongest factory roll cage I've seen on a side-by-side to date. Doesn't necessarily mean for you guys that roll on a regular basis that are doing, hard hill climbs and rollover. The cage to me will suffice for, man, like 98% of RZR owners. That cage is gonna do you just fine. It's just gonna be the 2% guys that are constantly beating on the machine that's gonna wanna upgrade that cage. But again, it is an upgraded cage in leaps and bounds over the cage on the RZR Turbo. I put a $600 value on the cage, upgrading the cage. That's, a $600 kind of a low end two-seater cage. That's pretty average here on the East Coast, $600 for, maybe not DOM and maybe not 120 wall, but a stronger cage. Also, the Pro XP comes with an upgraded prop shaft, a stronger prop shaft. I know a lot of West Coast guys don't have a problem with that. It is a problem on the East Coast of twisting a prop shaft. So there again, I got online, started looking at prices of prop shaft, not the top of the line, but a stronger prop shaft is going to run you about $550. Also, Polaris is saying the new axles on the Pro XP are 8 times stronger than the axles on the XP Turbo. So there again, a middle of the road set of axles is going to run you about $800. So that's a huge upgrade there. Now, how strong are those axles? No, they say 8 times stronger. We're just going to have to see. These machines have not hit the showrooms yet, so I'm real curious to see how well those axles do hold up. But I will, again, add $800 for kind of a middle of the road, stronger aftermarket axle. Also, One of the things, I don't know if you guys noticed it, the traditional glove box is gone in the Pro XP. It actually has top storage above where the glove box was, and it also has a middle storage there and a center console. So that's kind of nice to have some additional storage. I threw in $50 there just for some additional storage. Like if you were to get a PRP center bag or something like that, you know, it's going to run you about $50. And one of the other things is all the Pro XPs come with a 900 watt stator. That's huge, guys, huge. You know, all the problems of the past, the voltage regulators going out, you're not gonna have that problem with the Pro XP. Just like how they changed it in the Dynamics. I know I have a 2019 Dynamics 4-seater with a 900 watt stator. Powers all my accessories fine, and I've had no problem whatsoever with the voltage regulator. So, you know, that's a huge add. If you want to look at having to replace a voltage regulator, you're going to look at about a $300 upgrade. And man, that's, as you can see, all this stuff adding up is coming down to is it worth spending $2,000 on a new upgraded machine? So all that added together, every bit of that added together, I came up with $6,350 value of all the upgraded parts that are on the standard model Pro XP versus the base model RZR Turbo. So $6,350, guys, on a machine that's $2,000 retail more. Also, wanted to throw this back out there. I said I was going to come back to it, and I will. All these parts, if you buy the Turbo and you were to upgrade your Turbo with all of these upgraded parts on it, and you sold all of your OEM parts that you had brand new, not used, you know, you got on Razor Life, sold every one of them. I valued all of those, and I got them broke down. I valued those at a $2,400 discount. So if you sold all those, you should be able to get around $2,400, you know, plus or minus, just depending on how bad somebody needs it. So $2,350 minus $2,400 is $3,950. That's the advantage you're getting. The money saved in your pocket by buying the Pro XP versus the RZR Turbo. Again, guys, in my opinion, I know some of you guys are going to get on here and slam me and say this is worth that, and that's not worth anything. This is my opinion. It's my YouTube channel, so I'm giving you my opinion. Now, I invite you to express your opinions in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think. But again, guys, $2,000 more retail for $3,950 value added in parts. That's a no-brainer to me, guys.